So what the hell is warm pitching? The key thing is that it's about the people. So people connect with people. There is always a real person at the end of your email or connection request. And I think it's really important to remember that. It's so easy and it's so tempting to be really corporate and professional in our pitches because we're businesses and we're reaching out to other businesses. But especially now that lots of people are using AI for outreach, it's really important to maintain that human connection. And yeah, the humanness is really important. Secondly, the aim is to stay top of mind. So not everyone is going to need your help right now. And the aim of warm pitching isn't to land the work right here, right now. That's what cold pitching does. There are other methods for that, like applying to job boards and race to the bottom on Upwork. But it's to build relationships with potential clients and to remain top of mind for them. And thirdly, it's a solution-first sales technique. So content leads and managers, they don't have the time to research tons of freelancers. I have spoken to a lot of content leads who say that they find it really difficult to find reliable freelancers who can meet deadlines and who can submit publish-ready drafts. So when they do find someone, they will cling on to them for dear life. And they become their go-to people. And these are the people who they recognize, who they interact with, and who they have relationships with. So just a little breakdown of the difference between cold pitching and warm pitching, because I think lots of people see the word pitching and they're like, oh, no, that's not nice. But there is a difference. Warm pitching tends to have a longer lead time because it is about building relationships, whereas cold pitching is about getting work now. So if you need work now, if you have bills to pay and your roster is empty, then I would recommend like going heavy on the cold pitching. Whereas warm pitching is more to grow your visibility and to forge deeper connections with leads. It's more of a long game. And now the mindset stuff. There's a lot of hate out there for pitching. I think if you spend any time on LinkedIn or Twitter, X, whatever it's called now, you see a lot of people kind of bashing on it, saying it's really sleazy, it's really salesy. This is mostly towards the cold variety of pitching. And I admit I felt a bit gross when I first did it too. But when you need the money, I needed the money, I needed to pay the bills, you kind of push that to the wayside. And then the more pitches you start sending, the more you realize that it's just a normal part of business. Everybody does it and everybody has been doing it for centuries. It's probably the most common way that businesses have got business for probably thousands of years. So, and then I always laugh when people say it feels salesy, because it is salesy. You are trying to sell something, you're trying to sell your services, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. I try and think of it as I'm selling a solution to a problem. So I'm not selling myself. In a way, I'm helping the prospect. So if there is a content lead somewhere who is snowed under with the amount of work they have to do, and I pop into their inbox saying, hey, I can help you, I am easing that pain for them. And that's not annoying for them. That's a good thing for them. So I think it's helpful to really think about where you're at with pitching, like how you feel about it. And these questions are really good to ask yourself, just to get to the bottom of maybe any insecurities you have and why you're feeling the way you do, maybe what the objections are, the hesitations. So what are you most afraid of? Is it, I don't know, are you afraid of people laughing at you? Are you afraid of not getting any replies, getting a no? What is it that you're most afraid of? And then ask yourself, what is it about that you're afraid of? So why are you afraid of people saying no? Why are you afraid of getting no replies? What does that mean? What would the outcome be? And then ask yourself, which part of the pitching process gives you the most hesitation? So for me personally, it's the actual hitting of the send button. So I could research potential clients, write the pitch, and then I'll be like, oh, I'll just send it tomorrow, I won't send it now. And then tomorrow will come and I'll be like, oh, I'll send it tomorrow. Because I know as soon as I've hit that send button, I've lost all control and the control is now in somebody else's hands. So until I hit that button, I have control. So for me, that's the part of the process where there's the most hesitation. And then ask yourself what the worst case scenario is and what the best case scenario is, because it's always good to envision different situations that you might find yourself in and how you might react to those. And these are the common thought patterns that a lot of freelancers have around pitching. So pitching is icky because blah, blah, blah. Pitching makes me come across as desperate because X, Y, Z. pitching doesn't work because of this, that, and the other. Companies hate receiving pitches because of this. Pitching is a reflection of me as a person because of this. And I think it's good to answer these questions in full for any that resonate with you. Some of them may not, none of them may not resonate with you, but if they do, it's good to answer them as honestly as you can to get to the bottom of your insecurities and prejudices about pitching. And one thing that actually really helped me was seeing other freelancers pitching and getting results. So some of the freelancers that I look up to and that I admire the most started out with pitching too. They're still pitching now. I guarantee the freelancers that you see who are doing really well are still pitching. They've pitched in the past and they will continue to pitch well into the future. And it really helps me to kind of position it in that way as well.